Super Soul Sisters, I'm always glad to be here and have conversations with our amazing women, our Super Soul Sisters. And the one we have today is quite interesting. She is an entrepreneur and she is a director for Wild Scope Group. And that is Busingye Mary Melissa. But thank you so much for making time with us. You're a very busy woman, I know. But we've managed to squeeze in time, which I'm glad we've done. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Nice to be here, Rowena.
Yes, we're glad to have you too.
Thank you.
So, Melissa, as you can see, she's well put, she's calm, but we want to know, has it always been like this? So, Melissa, when we're talking about Busingye, Mary, Melissa, who are we talking about right here?
Wow. Busingye Mary Melissa, born in Hoima town then.
Yes.
Right now it's a city. In the mid-80s, I would say. Born to Mr. Ben Ruberantwali and Mary Ruberantwali. Hoima people commonly know him as Mr. Kadogo. Kanywani, many people call him Kanywani, many people call him Kadogo. So, raised up in Kijungu, Hoima town. Went to school in St. Francisco Primary School. That's where I did my primary. It was then a missionary school that belonged to Italians. And I was privileged to be in that school because we had teachers who were whites.
And they taught well.
Yes,
at the time.
and they taught well.
I don't know about today. I don't mean to. So let's go back, Melissa. What was it like growing up in Hoima, and any memories you have of your parents at the time, being a young girl? What you picked from them, what you learned, and what you saw?
Wow, growing up from Hoima, my mother being a businesswoman, she owned a business in town. My dad too was a businessman, at the same time a civil servant. Growing up in a missionary Christian school that really made us so Christian and independent and teaching us more about entrepreneurship, innovation, because they were whites. So we did a lot of innovation and creativity stuff.
Yes.
And also my parents having businesses, and at times children would go and run the businesses.
Oh, nice.
I remember I would go in the shop, my mom's shop, to make sales, maybe weekends or holidays.
Yes.
So
how many were you? When you say we used to go and...
Yeah, okay. Talking about my siblings, we are 7 siblings, 5 girls and 2 boys. Yeah, so all of us, our parents made sure we are involved in the family business. Or we also had a small farm.
Yes.
We had cows, so they made sure that would be involved mainly
with the boys as well.
Yeah, with the boys. So
nice.
Nothing was specific for girls. This is for girls or this is for boys.
You all did the same kind of.
Yeah.
But being 5 girls and only 2 boys, did you overpower them?
Being actually. One boy really just fell in the middle, and another one is the one who follows me, who was a little bit younger. But the big one would do things together.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. That's quite interesting. So if you're not at mom's shop, what was it like being at home when your parents were busy, when probably that particular day you didn't go to help out? What was that like? Your standard day as children?
Of course, like, children, we love playing, we love bicycles. Actually, I loved bicycles so much, riding, plants, I really loved plants. I really loved trees, fruits.
Yes. So you used to climb and peak.
No, actually, I wouldn't climb, but somehow I think other friends maybe would encourage some boys to climb and pick
So that
mangoes
yes.
and oranges for us.
Nice.
Yeah, cycle, bicycles. Maybe we also had some Christian activities which would be organized
By the school.
by the church, the school. We
okay.
grew up more in that kind of Christian environment. Maybe Saturdays would have some either Christian stuff, then by afternoon you're going back home, or maybe during holidays,
Yeah.
or maybe if this week your sister has gone to the shop, then the following week
It is you go.
it is go to the shop, then the others will remain at home, do housework and do the farming.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
nice. So now in school, primary school, you said very Christian-led school. What was that like? Were you all in the same school with your siblings, or it was just you?
Actually, with some of my siblings in the same primary school,
Yes.
apart from our elder sister, because I think we were the pioneers of that small school.
Oh, wow.
It was kind of an international setting. It was a new of its kind in Hoima town. And, you know, I think our parents rushed to take us to that beautiful school.
Yes.
And all I remember about that school, it was too much of, it was too Christian. Actually, it was Catholic based. It was after Saint Francisco, who was a saint from Francisco of Assisi.
Okay.
So whatever Saint Francis used to do in his childhood, these missionaries were trying to impart
In you.
in
you,
us
yes.
as young children. So, and what I liked about the school is up to now, the children I went to in the same school at the same
Yes.
time,
Yes.
we have same beliefs.
That's nice.
We love each other. We love sharing. We love Christianity. Yeah, I would really say that it could have been in me because I can look at it maybe in maybe three aspects. One, right from home, in the home where I was coming from,
Yes.
my parents were Christians and too generous.
Yes.
We shared our home with so many people.
Come
Sometimes,
in.
yeah.
Yes. Yes.
For visitors, we expected visitors like
Anytime.
anytime.
Yes.
Up to late in the night. Those people who would even get stranded down. I
Yes.
was coming, the bus got spoiled. And
Yes. Your home
at
was
11,
open. Oh, wow.
someone would knock home, and my parents would be happy to see
To
them,
see them, yes.
and we prepare for them. Sometimes they were even strangers. We wouldn't
Aye.
even know them.
Wow.
Yeah, so my family would host up to more than 30 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
we
was-
would.
that is
That was
something
a
special.
minimum. Yeah,
I like how
minimum.
you're saying it was a minimum.
Yeah, that I
Wow.
remember minimum would be like 30 people,
30 people.
in our home.
Wow.
And again, when it came to school in pre-primary, I remember when my mom would pack for me snacks, I would give them to my teacher and convince my teacher to eat them. Sometimes I would lie to her that these are your snacks.
These are yours. I ate mine. I have
Yeah,
mine.
that my mom told me to give them to you. She would have a tough time to convince me to eat my snacks.
Yeah.
Or actually tell me that let's share these snacks, let us eat them together.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Teacher Lilian Rukambuza. And then she would come home and tell my mom that she was refusing to eat her snacks, she was giving them to me. Then I think still around that time, that incident, someone just reminded me when I was a very big girl. Me, I don't remember actually.
Yeah.
Like I was walking in the center. I think they had sent me for something. Then this young guy had not put on wasn't wearing a shirt. and his stomach was really small. If I could
Like real
remember, because I
sunken.
remember him, he was really small, but I think that day he had not put on a shirt. So I rushed home. I got a bunch of bananas.
Yes.
I gave it to him. I was like, you're hungry. I
Yes.
see your stomach is really flat. Kindly have these
Bananas
bananas.
and eat. Oh,
Yeah,
that was so sweet.
so I remember I met him later
In life, yeah.
in life. Actually, he was my economics coach. He would come to coach me. It's like, I remember you. You're a very little girl. You saw me. I was very small then. My stomach was really small. You thought I was hungry. You gave me bananas to eat. But me, I didn't remember that
You,
bit.
you couldn't remember
But yeah.
that. But imagine how someone remembers something like that, and when they meet you, you impacted in a very huge way to his life. He said, but this young girl, I think he thought to himself,
No,
what do I...
the thing about giving, sharing, giving, in my primary school, break time,
Yes.
you'd sit in a circle.
Okay.
Whether you've packed or you've not packed,
You'd have
had to share.
something to eat, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you remember any particular moments of primary school where you were, or were you a cheeky child, or just generally nice and calm and quiet, or you had your moments in school?
I think in school I was a bit calm, at the same time cheeky.
Yeah.
Because I have a best friend from kindergarten
Yes.
who tells me, for me, I was naughty, but again, you'd hope me to implement.
So you were like,
However much I had a few words to talk, but in actions,
Yeah.
I would really, I would never be left behind. That because I have less words.
yes.
Yeah.
Any particular incident you remember, or she's the one who kept, bringing it up for you?
You know, like, there were incidents. You know, like, for example, maybe you leave school, we had bicycles. Instead of going home,
Yeah.
we would go to race. Other friends of ours also had bicycles.
So you would go racing
So we
instead.
would go to race. We would fall down, get wounds. You know, we get back home when we have torn uniform.
Uniforms, yes,
we would
yes.
play with boys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
Racing with the boys.
yeah, we would race
Riding
with
the-
boys. Yeah.
So every time you were meant to go home somehow, you reached a little late. You didn't get in trouble for that?
Oh yeah, we would find excuses. I had one particular friend called Hilda. We would, she would first take me home because when my parents would see now we've come back with her, they wouldn't really know.
But
But
I
if
know
you
that
come
you're
back
alone.
alone, that means there would be.
Imagine at that age having a plan
Yeah.
to go back home.
Yeah,
with.
so after Hilda would take me home, I check in, then I also push her to her
To
home.
home. Okay,
Then
that was good strategy.
Yes, then after then, Hilda's parents would now bring me back home.
Oh, wow. That was the whole...
Yeah, so, or either we start Hilda's, or Hilda comes home, delays home, my parents take her home.
Okay.
So I
So you
think
had a
we're-
well laid out plan anyway.
Yeah,
With
so we're a little cheeky, I think.
Yes. So now, what was your primary like, as you get older? Because now you've joined school, you're pioneers, and then, years in, you've gotten used to the system, you have friends. What was that like? Or do you feel that indeed affected most part of your life?
Well, my primary school, I think, affected most of my life today because that school was a school of excellency. Being that they were white teachers, mostly at first,
Yeah.
it was a school of excellency. It was a school of integrity. It was a school of honesty. It was a school of sharing, caring.
Yeah.
It was
All the Christian values,
yeah,
really.
A school of having faith, a school of humanity,
Nice.
because they would arrange as primary, would visit hospitals.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
we used
interesting.
to visit hospitals. It was a school of creativity. We used to do a lot of modeling. We used to do a lot of maybe fishing,
Really?
maybe
Interesting.
yeah, making handwork. Yeah,
I used to remember some of these things.
tablecloths. Yeah, art. Yeah, I think I came out
Yeah, you're
good.
very artistic. We did
Yes,
notice that earlier on today.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a lot of art. Used to do a lot of art, modeling stuff, cups. Yeah, so
That doesn't happen anymore. That is something, if you asked a child right now how a cup came to be or a plate, they would have no idea that that is all clay.
yeah. We used
No
to
idea at
actually
all.
would go harvest the clay from the riverside,
Oh,
then come mold. Then
yes.
after molding, we burn. Then
Nice.
you get
I see the entrepreneur part coming out. I
yeah,
see the entrepreneur part coming out.
yeah, the
So,
creativity.
so when you leave primary school, what were you more inclined to? Did you have clubs, or things that for you, like, when it came to this, I was there. I never missed these particular activities.
Yes. Now, when I left primary, I went to a college, Satitowinyi College.
Okay.
It was, I think, Anglican. There was Christianity. I joined the Christian club. Though it didn't have a lot of creativity like the primary one. Yeah, but what I remember most, but it was also a free school that would allow you do anything free. The good thing with that school also had a farm.
So you'd go farming
Yes, we'd go farming. Yeah,
as a
plant.
class or like
As a school, we had schedules. Every class would have a day to go to the farm and also to the forest.
did you enjoy those ones or you dread those ones? You'd be like, ha.
I enjoyed, I would enjoy the farm, though it was a little bit far from the school. And I would enjoy the planting. I would enjoy the clubs, especially, yeah, the Christian clubs and at the same time the dancing clubs. and
Yes.
the unfortunate bit of it, that day you a Christian, you go to a dancing club, you're
in the Christian club?
Yeah, you're
You're in
excommunicated.
Really?
Yeah. So
So were you ever excommunicated? Because I'm assuming you were in the Christian club, but you still wanted to go for the dance club.
what would happen? The dance beat would be at the maximum at the end of the term.
Yeah.
So you'd go do your dancing beat
Yes.
at the end of the term, and you'd not go back to the fellowship. Then the next term, you'd start with the fellowship, because
And they would not have any memory of you being in a dancing club.
I think my friends do have very good memories of
that.
me in the dancing club. Yeah.
So it was once a term?
The show would either be maybe twice a term or
Twice,
once.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. Were you a leader in any of these?
In primary school, I was a leader. In some classes, I would be a monitor or prefect or what. But I remember in high school, I personally experienced a bit of a huge shift because the arrangements were so different of the school.
From the primary school to college?
Yes, and another thing, boarding school was a little bit tough for me. They had like these army training activities. It wasn't actually army, but they had that kind of activity like
Every morning?
Yeah, every morning, which I
I can imagine those were very early mornings.
That one I dodged.
Yes.
They would come to the senior one class and senior 5 as a must.
Yes.
Fortunately, I got someone came looking for me. particularly.
Yes.
A senior 6 girl. She was called Peace. My other nickname is Peace.
Okay.
Peace means Busingye.
Busingye,
Yeah.
yes.
So she's like, I hear there's a new girl called Peace, and we would fear the senior 6s.
Yes.
Why is Peace in this dormitory? I hear she's a very nice, cute girl. So I came up.
Meanwhile, for you, you're like shaking.
Yeah,
You're like,
I
what?
actually didn't know Peace. So I think she just know, like, there is a new girl.
Girl, yes.
So she's like, my namesake. Those days, having a namesake was a deal.
A real big deal.
Yes,
That
a
is true.
very, very big deal. You'd have to look after your.
Also, she looked after you.
Yeah, so even us, by the way, that time, even in primary, you had children you would take care of in lower classes.
Lower classes, yes.
And you'd make sure break time, they are sorted, lunch time, they are clean, the shoes are clean, the
yes,
hair,
yes.
the books. So that was part of that. Then that's
I think
how
how
our
things
school
were
was.
being done, yes.
Yeah.
But
So Peace, I think, knew that boarding is tough. She had to look after me.
Nice.
Wow, Peace looked after me.
Even for the morning exercises.
She moved me to her room.
Yes.
For her, they were in rooms. I think they were about
'cause they were
6.
older, yes.
Yeah. And I think they had a free bed.
Nice.
So she's like, you come to our dormitory. This is your bed.
So you never went for any of the...
I ran away from that. So the morning class, as prefects would come for the senior ones,
Yes.
I would never appear there.
Okay. You're
Dining
quite lucky.
time, the senior 6s would be the ones to first have lunch.
Really?
Yeah, so she would take me by her hand, go
Yes.
to the dining with senior 6s.
Yeah.
When we are coming back, the rest of the classes are going to the dining.
You enjoyed life,
So,
eh?
so senior one it was a good blending because I think it was going to be
So by the time
tough.
you went to senior two, really, even when she had gone, you
Yeah.
had adjusted.
Yeah.
That was quite a blessing.
Yeah.
You enjoyed yourself.
Yes.
So while at secondary school, now you know you have someone taking care of you. What did that do to you as a young girl who's just come to boarding school? You know, how were you relating with your friends in class? Your age mates, basically.
Well, there was a lot of activities for senior ones.
Yes.
And going back to their dormitory, sometimes you'd go in some program, you don't know, they have planned in the night.
Yes.
You meet
For
them
you in
during
the
the
other-
day,
yes.
yeah. So I would miss out some
On
of
some
those.
of the things,
But
yeah.
also staying with the senior 6s told me a lot. A little bit to be more neat and,
So basically you matured faster than,
yeah,
than your friends.
True.
I
Yeah,
can
of course
imagine.
they will, yeah.
So when she left, you stayed, now you had to switch back to your dormitories.
Yes, somehow I got another friend in senior 5
That was very good. Yeah.
who took me to another dormitory. So I never shared a dormitory, with my
yes.
classmates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So secondary school, what subjects were you inclined to? What did you feel comfortable with, doing at the time?
At that time, we were doing so many subjects, maybe 20.
Yes, that was 20
But
subjects, you can imagine.
I loved English. I loved art. I never liked sciences. And I don't
yeah,
know
me
for
too.
what reason.
Yeah, me too. I think it's just when you're not that type of person, it's not your thing.
But again, I loved maths. I
Oh,
loved
okay.
math. I loved English. I loved art.
The rest of the sciences, no.
The rest of the sciences, chemistry. But I also loved agriculture. Agriculture was just into me since we had a
how
farm.
you grew up and yes.
Yeah, so most of the things in agriculture then that they would talk about, talk of zero grazing, I would
Yes,
know.
you
Talk
knew all
of
of these
the
things.
animal diseases, I would know. Talk of most of the things.
Yes.
Yeah, because
You actually,
yeah.
hands-on.
Yeah,
You knew.
it was hands-on, yeah.
Interesting. So now you continued to the same school, and after your O-level, yes?
Yes.
Or you changed schools? You continued?
Second A-level I changed for just like a year. I continued in the same school, then senior six I went to another school.
Where did you go?
Excel High.
Excel High, okay. Still in Hoima?
No, that was Masindi.
In Masindi. Okay, now that's a new change of environment, quite interesting. But I must say we still have a lot to talk about here with Busingye, Mary, Melissa, or Lisa, you know. And of course, she's a calm person, but you know, she has her moments like most of us do. Now we've come to learn that her what has influenced or who she is as a person already, as we know, she's into helping out people and taking on responsibility, giving herself that responsibility anyway, not waiting for someone. You know, she goes on ahead and says, I need to help. I need to be in a position of helping someone. But also the entrepreneurial aspect comes through. Now, some of these things, I think that's why we share these stories. You know, to understand the person. You just don't wake up and you're someone else, you know. I think as parents today, parents should be able to understand and monitor these things. Sometimes we're like, this child wants this, and they don't know where it comes from, but it is right in front of you. We'll be right back for our Super Soul Sister reminder. Daughters Exclusive gives us this amazing space. Don't go away. We are with the director, White Scope Group, and of course she's an entrepreneur, and I must say quite an amazing lady. Very calm, very relaxed. You know, I quite often wish I had this kind of energy because I'm too much. Sometimes I'm too much. But with us, of course, like we've been discussing here with Melissa, we've reached at a point now where she's gone to a new school, new environment. I like to know things like this because you've been in Hoima for so long. You've been with your siblings, with your family, the schools. I know Masindi is not so far, but it's change of environment, you know? So when you change and go to Excel High, after being in your previous school for quite a while, what was that like for you?
Surprisingly, most of my OGs.
From this side now?
Yeah, okay, we kind of believed this was a government school, and these were new private schools which had come with a lot of vigor.
Yes.
So going to that school would automatically mean passing your senior seats. So somehow I found myself with many
of your OGs.
OGs. Yeah.
And what were you doing at this point?
Divinity, economics, geography. Stroked fine art. So you see,
Nice. Yes.
that's my life.
That's
where
your
my
life. That's your
came
line.
from,
Yes. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So you kept the art,
I kept the
the
art,
divinity,
the Christianity.
the Christianity, and of course being, you know, the entrepreneurial hands-on skills that they're taught. You see how things do influence people.
Knowing how to discover geography.
Geography.
Up to now, I love geography.
Up to now, eh? Well, I think I'm horrible at geography. Trust me. I lose my way so many times. I'm like,
can't lose my
I keep
way.
going to the same places, but for some reason I get lost.
I remember my vectors. I can still do my vectors. I
Nice.
can still do the map of the world. I can still Canadian prairies. I can still. Then I love the economics.
Yes.
That's where I think the business
Aspect
comes in. Then the art, I still love art.
And surprisingly, these things work well together. One may think they don't, but they do work well together. So at this point, your parents agree with your course? Because, you know, we know so many times our parents are like, no, I'd rather you do this. I want you to be this. I want you to, I don't know, become, if not a doctor, I don't know what.
At that particular point, my big sister would make most of the decisions for us.
Oh, nice.
For her, she was a scientist, but she preferred, that wife also never liked sciences.
Yeah.
So she was like, there's this combination, it's good. And you know, you've passed your divinity so well. I think then I was CRE.
Yes.
Then when it came to divinity, oh my God, it was like I used to sleep in the Bible. Yeah,
Nice.
so, and even the art, I remember, even now I ask myself, where did the art go?
Go.
Because like you're seated there, I could sit and draw you.
Draw. Ah.
Yes.
Wow.
So
Maybe one of these days you should give yourself a day and see what happens.
I think maybe
Maybe
I
it's
should
still
think
there.
about it.
But now you're busy. That's the only challenge. It's still there. You never know.
Yeah.
So when you choose to do that, you said your sister at this point was making most of the decisions for you. Why? Your parents were too busy, or?
My parents were not too busy. That was family. I think they respected what we wanted.
Yes.
So for us, we would sit and talk as
Among
siblings,
yourselves, as
amongst
siblings,
us.
yes.
So what do you decide? It's what your parents. My parents would never force you to do something that you
They were
don't
quite
want.
liberal.
They were always supportive.
Okay, so now after high school, after senior 6, what next?
Yeah, I joined the business college.
Yes.
Makerere University Business School. Yeah. So
And what were you doing there?
I was doing procurement and logistics.
Nice. That's nice.
Yeah. This was a new environment. As you know,
Yes.
it was fellowship, Christian clubs.
Yes.
I found a different environment altogether. At first,
People are living life as they
Yeah.
find
yeah,
fit for them.
yeah, you know, hostel. There's this hyper, the campus nights. There's some girls already drinking.
And that was new to you, totally new.
Yeah, this was a little bit new to me. No friends.
Yes.
Trying to sketch out friends. Yeah, no friends.
I know what
No,
you're saying.
yeah, yeah. You're just there, fresher.
Starting up,
Yes.
starting.
Yeah. Yeah, so in my first class, I met a group of girls. There are some girls, Aggie and Monica, talking. They would talk a lot. They had life. They would go out.
Yeah. And you
So-
never went out?
No, now they became my first friends. Yeah. They welcomed me. For them, looks like they knew Kampala.
Yes. They'd been in and out of Kampala. Yes.
Yeah. I think for them they had studied in
Here.
in Kampala schools, and you know they knew places in Kampala. So I was like, I think
Yeah.
these ones are the ones that I should go with now.
Very strategic, by the way.
Yeah. So, but again, I was a Christian.
Yes.
Now,
So you battled with that.
yeah, when I was in college, actually, I got born again. So I was now born again. So as much as I was in this group, my spirit would call me back to the born again club.
Yeah.
So by that time, I didn't go to Scripture Union because I didn't know it existed.
Yes, at the university.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know. But when I got to know it existed,
You started going.
yes, I got to know the fellowship times, morning, lunch, and the programs. Somehow, I crossed now to Scripture Union fully. The partying was a little bit too hyper for
For
me.
you, yeah. And they still remained your friends anyway.
Yeah, they still, up
Yes.
to now they're my good friends.
Oh, nice.
I would invite them to the Scripture Union.
I can imagine
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
They'll be like, we shall make it.
Yeah.
And then they'll show up.
Yeah, I would drag them, we would share so many things.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
we would
good.
share. And many of my hostel mates had homes in Kampala. Over the weekend, Fridays, they would go back home.
Yes. And you'd stay around.
So would stay around campus. Thank God for Pastor Kayanja. They had those buses.
Yes.
If you remember those
The
buses.
bus, yes.
Friday, by 6,
You
the
are
bus
also
has
set and
packed. By 7, you'd be going to Miracle Center to
And
pray.
you were set and ready.
Yeah, so you
At least
come
that kept
back.
you busy.
Yeah, it kept us. Even Saturday, the bus would come. Those people who want to go to church, they
they'll
go.
take you.
But Sunday, I wouldn't go to Miracle Center.
Center, yes.
I would go to Watoto.
Okay.
Yeah. I became a leader in the business school. I was a GRC and a honorable minister at the university.
Nice.
We had clubs for leaders who were busy. We had meetings.
Yeah.
We had to plan for students. We had entrepreneurship clubs. So I was a member of Makerere University Business School Entrepreneurship. I started business there.
Really?
Yes.
So what were you doing?
I would sell jeans. I would
You
use
go
my
find-
pocket money. I go to town, downtown. I get a dozen of jeans and maybe tops, and also soap
Yeah.
and creams.
Then you
Yeah,
go to your
even
friends and...
some lecturers would buy from me.
Nice.
I told them I have this and this. I have soap and this. I would start my day so early, 6, because I had scripture union. I think between 7 to 8, or
Before
6:45 before classes. Then my morning class.
Yes.
Midday I'm out. Then we have a discussion in the afternoon. Then between that time to later in the
evenings
in the
or
evening,
yes.
people who knew I had things to sell,
They would show up.
they would shop. I go with them to my hostel, put my things on the bed.
Nice.
They select whatever they wanted to select. And most guild meetings would be at night.
Did you continue doing this until you finished school, or along the way you stopped?
Yeah, I continued doing the same thing. Fortunately, after university, I continued. I never stopped.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I got a job before I graduated.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice. That
Yeah.
was nice. Where did you get your job at first?
Barclays.
Barclays, nice.
Then now it's Abisa, right?
Now it's upstairs.
Then Barclays, Annington Road. That's where I had my first hustle. But now I first thought now I graduated from jeans to catering. So I was,
While you were still at Barclays.
yeah, when I was at Barclays,
So at Barclays, what were you doing?
I was in the customer care department.
Okay, nice. Let me get away from clothes to catering. What made that shift?
We realized there was a little bit of a gap in the catering business that time. So it's like, what if we come up with an outside catering, which is executive, where you have nice dining plates and,
Good setup.
yes, and good cutlery and a better menu.
Ah, yes, better menu.
Yes, and then we are like, it's even good. Most functions are there over the weekends. And over the weekends,
Yeah.
you can really participate. I also loved cooking meanwhile. And way back from primary, they used to
yes.
teach us how to cook at the same time.
Oh, the skills part
Yes,
of this. Okay.
yeah. We had a bakery at school there, so they would teach us how to
Bake
cook, how to
and
bake.
cook,
Yeah.
yeah.
At the same time, I was studying ICSA, which was also so demanding.
So after you reached Barclays, you graduate,
yeah.
you continue and then decide to get into the catering and say,
Yes.
I need to go back to school.
No, I was doing them consecutively.
Really?
School, catering, yeah.
Wow.
The job. But I realized some good money. That's when I got my good money, checks.
Yes.
I got good gigs,
With the catering,
offices,
yes.
yeah. So when it became a little bit demanding, I resigned from my job,
From the job, yes.
from my first job. Yeah.
You had a name for the company?
Yeah, it was Peace Catering Services.
Nice.
Most of my salary now would go into helping out many people who do not have school fees. And it wasn't enough, so I wanted to look for
To
more
do
money.
more so that you can give more people.
Yeah, because I had enough money for myself.
You were young. You
Yeah,
didn't
which
have
was enough.
all these
yeah.
responsibilities.
The only thing I would feel would take my money was nails.
Nails. I see you love your nails. I see you love your nails.
Yeah.
And every young girl really would want to,
Yeah.
So catering business. How long do you do this for?
I did catering for about maybe 2 years. Then I think the cost became a little bit tight. even I got health issues.
Oh dear.
And the supervision and the catering was really tight. But again, catering business promoted me to another business. Then I think that's when I opened up the wide scope group of companies, because I realized people do not only, it's not all about food.
Food, yeah.
I got exposed to more opportunities.
You said you had health issues. What was it like?
I got pregnant, and the pregnant was so draining.
So here you are young. You were around how old?
At that time, I think I was like 25.
25, yes. So
Yeah,
when you
so-
got pregnant, busy schedule,
Yes.
handling your entire life together,
Yes.
it got a bit complicated.
Yeah, it got complicated. I sold off my catering to my brother.
But then that was why. So it was around you, it was close to
Yeah.
you. When you started off Wide Scope, what did you start with? What were you looking at to do?
My heart went to, again, communities. I'm mostly driven less privileged
Areas. You want
areas.
to, yeah. You feel like you need to be in that space.
I
do
yeah,
something.
felt I needed to be in that space. Then constructing community halls, constructing roads,
Yes.
water projects, hospitals, prisons, schools. Yeah.
So what did you bring as World Scope to handle that challenge, all these areas?
of course, now the company became big now. I'm now employing people which I had also loved. I'm employing professionals,
Yes.
engineers, plumbers.
Yes. So you were doing hardware?
Before then, I had not started the hardware business. Yeah. So it was just into company construction, employment. Yeah. So
And
as I
which is-
went on in construction, I realized maybe I need a hardware so that
So that it
I
aids
buy.
the
Yes,
construction.
yes.
How did you think of construction? I get the whole, the hospitals, the refugee camps, but construction.
Yeah, I realized that we do not have facilities.
Yeah, that's true.
Up to now, it's my cry.
So when you started out, was it easy? Did people trust that you could do this? Did people have their doubts, knowing, okay, this is a female-led construction, project?
Well, many people would say, you're too young to do this. Yeah, they would look at me. Even up to now, they meet me like, now, yeah, we really trust you. You've stayed in the
It's
industry.
in the industry for quite some time.
But at first, we never trusted you. You are too young.
Yeah.
Then another thing would be like, she's too fast for us.
You feel like you're moving too quick.
I'm
At the
too
same time,
quick.
they're not sure if you're
Yes,
going to.
and
So,
I get a contract. The time for handing over the contract. There some bit of so and so is not around. So I'm like, no, you know what? You come to hand over when I'm already working.
working, yes.
My team is already here.
Yeah,
You
it's on
people have
ground.
to
We're good to
come.
go.
Why are you too fast? You're too fast. Yeah, but also capital,
Yes.
where you have to end up in loans, getting financial
Yes.
loans and big interests, and you lose to the banks.
That is true. So you had
Yeah.
to move fast anyway.
Yeah, you have to do fast, but at times also some things would delay. You're caught
Yes.
up. You have a big loan to clear. Sometimes you lose. There's one time I actually lost a lot of money, property. The bank sold the properties. Yeah. So.
I have a colleague of mine, I'm sure they would love you. I think I'll engage him, Dennis Sigoa. Because when you talk business, I see how passionate you are about
Yeah.
it. One thing I need to ask you, now you're a very busy woman, you've always been busy. What do you do in your free time to relax a little?
I think my best moment is being alone.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's when the ideas pop up, eh?
Then I love making friends,
Nice.
partying,
I mean, it relaxes a bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
clubs. I'm a Rotarian.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
That one must keep you busy too.
yeah, now we actually have a new club,
Ah,
baby club, which
nice.
is Pesa Business Clinic. It's to
Nice.
talk about business.
Business.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love reading books, entrepreneurship books.
Yes.
I have read books about most entrepreneurs.
Yes.
The Trump, Kim Kiyosaki, Robert, even our local ones,
Yes.
the Wavas.
So do you encourage your kids to go down the same line?
Oh, yeah, of course. The best thing is to let your
Someone,
child
yes.
do what they wish. But at the end of the day, like me,
True.
they
That's
can
funny.
work for the company, they can work in the business.
They can choose to
they can,
take on.
yeah.
Okay. So what message do you have for the young girls out there?
I know young girls, young people out there, not only girls, or women, or people who do not have, who have lost their jobs, or who
Yes.
have had early retirements. What I can tell them about business, it's doable, and it's the zeal.
Yeah.
And business is an idea. It's not money. Because I started business, I know many people were like, these business people and motivational speakers. And I started my restaurant with one rice, you know. And practically, because there's a time you can get money, you
Yes.
put in a business. You get it?
Yes.
And the money
it
gets
failed.
crushed
Yes.
in the business. And the business completely fails out. Now where do you get the next capital to put on? You realize as a business person, you come again and float.
And float. Yes.
So where do you get that money that has brought you back to float? You realize actually it's not money. You realize actually that's why the other business failed. Maybe you started with too much money and
You forgot all the other important aspects.
yeah. Preparations, planning, the locations, the clientele, that discipline in business.
That is true.
The strategies.
The social
Yes.
capital too.
Yeah, social capital, networking. Yeah, yeah.
I think
And maybe another thing would, about the business, about the government, as a business lady, what I can put out to the government is, fine, I appreciate and I think they do realize that this space is taking up. First of all, it's the one that brings most revenues to the government, the biggest percentage. And two, it is the one that is employing the biggest percentage.
Sure.
But again, the effort they have put to it
It's very limited.
is very limited. Government has so many programs. For example, I would say like maybe URA. If you asked a small business person, when does URA visit you?
No idea. Have no clue.
Probably they say they only come to check if we have paid tax. Do they give you anything more than receiving taxes from you? Do they tell you the privileges you have?
You deserve, yeah.
You deserve? That no. And also the financial aspect of, you know, information. The information desk is really minimal. They do not.
There needs to be more money put in making sure.
Yeah, even
this information is
making
out there.
people know that there is a desk if you need information.
Yeah. Someone once told me, I want to import. How do I start? I was like, okay.
Yeah, you should be able to direct them to a desk.
A desk, yes.
Well, when you're starting a business, plan your expenditures for some good time. A business is a new entity. This is a baby born. Don't expect a new baby born. You send them to the well, you send them to cook, you send them so. You have a private entity. A business is another person altogether. And when it's new, it's new.
Yeah.
You need to feed this baby. You get. You don't need to malnourish this baby to get out of this baby. So you have a small business, you're looking at it for your personal rent, you're looking at it all your expenditures. You're looking at it at again to sustain itself in capital. You're looking at it again to expand. It's impossible.
That's true.
And it has not yet expanded. I usually look at most our people, the Asians. They can never get anything from their business, not until it's big.
It's big, yeah.
But for us, we start making small profits, you buy a big car.
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Your small first profits you've made, and this big car is a liability.
That is true.
Or you go, you buy a piece of land. This piece of land is a liability. You're not going to get any money from that piece. However much it's an asset, it's not actually an asset. It's
not
a
the right
property, which is not an asset because it is not bringing you any money. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, thank you so much, Lisa. Thank you. And I must say, this is quite interesting. So many times we think, but this child is too quiet, is too calm. When the world squeezes them. No, it depends. Sometimes in their quiet times, ideas like this come up. Like you can see Melissa here, she's very calm and quiet, but she prefers to have her time, to think about things, and probably that's where most of your ideas and plans come from, because you have some sort of peace of mind. So sometimes it's okay. We want to put everyone under pressure to be out there. She's out there in her own way,
Yeah.
and it has yielded results. Of course, I do thank you for making time. Our super soul sister, Busingye, Mary, Melissa, and of course Abwoli, and she is, of course, yes, you definitely suit the Abwoli pet name, and she is the director of Wide Scope, and she is an entrepreneur, and she's telling you every now and then, yes, make it a point to do the things you want to do. Go ahead and try something. Do not hesitate. What do you live by? Your mantra, what do you live by every day?
I live by appreciating my failures because
nice.
I believe in every failure, you've got a triumph. You always find challenges, but find a reason to wake
Keep
up
going.
and move on and double your effort. There's a time I was going through huge challenges that my parents would not even intervene, financial challenges. At times, I was like, does my dad believe that I'm the one? Because he was a daddy, a pampering father. But I gained strength inside
Yes.
me, became a strong woman inside me to stand amidst the storm and move on. And I can assure you, in business, you can never go wrong.
That is
You'll make it and make it again.
and make it indeed.
Yeah.
Dotash Exclusive has given us this amazing space here on Ginger Road, Spear House. You can always check it out. Amazing furniture, I must tell you. But they give us this amazing space to use, and we are glad we have it. Now, Busingye, Mary, Melissa, who is the director of Wide Scope, a group of companies, and of course she's telling you her story. She's told us a story, and I must say, quite a story. Ambition is very key, but also making sure that you do see to life that ambition is something altogether. Rowena Kajumba is my name. We do appreciate you for watching. Until next time, from me and the team, good night.